Okay, guys, so what I did is I pulled up the video that I put up called Shaking and Removing of Tears. This is the part where I had shared this song, so let's just hear that. Moving on. So yesterday, the Lord woke me up with a song. I want to talk to you all about that. I sent this to just a few people, just sent it out as a matter-of-fact thing. I did not go in and explain what kind of struck out to me, but I did share it with a few people. Then this morning, the Lord woke me up at 2 in the morning, and I was up until about, I guess, 5-ish or something. And I had many things going on in my mind. He got me up to make sure that I was getting this video lined up as to everything that he wanted to have in it. But the song, again, was very prevalent in my mind. So I'm not real sure exactly what he wants to say to me in regards to this song, but I am going to play a little part of the song. You should be able to see hopefully this is one that has lyrics in it so that you guys can see it, and we're only going to listen to just probably, I don't know, less than 2 minutes of the song. So let's just hear what this is.
We spotted the ocean, the head of the trail. Where we're going, so far away. Somebody told me this is the place where everything's better, everything's safe. Walk on the ocean, step on the stones, let's become water,
Okay, so that's really all I want to play of this, but I'm going to read you the lyrics on it. The thing that really stood out to me, well, I'll read you what they sang so far. It says, we spotted the ocean at the head of the trail. Where we were going so far away, and somebody told me that this is the place where everything's better, everything's safe. Walk on the ocean, step on the stones. Flesh becomes water, wood becomes bone. Now, the two things that stuck out to me were the last two that I just read. Flesh becomes water and wood becomes bone. So I went in and I started looking to see some research in regards to this particular song. They were never really one of my favorite groups when I was listening to secular music, but I recognized the song. I didn't know what the title was, and I couldn't find the song at first because I must not have, well, I didn't really know any of the words to it. I was just hearing the music in my head, and it wasn't until I had was heading into work and the Holy Spirit brought one particular verse lyric to my memory that I was able to find it. So I know it's significant. I know he's trying to tell us something here. So the research that I did for a specific reason, because the Lord has given me many songs through Simon and Garfunkel and Paul Simon, specifically Bridge Over Troubled Waters, and the lyrics with that, and then talking about Sail On Silver Girl and all different kinds of things. They actually did in an interview for the lyrics for that particular song, and they just said, listen, we don't know where it came from. We just started writing it down. It was just coming right to our mind. And so, guys, this was just another one of those things. When I did the research on this, the question was, is the ocean a metaphor for heaven? And is the song about Jesus? And to answer these questions, they asked the lead singer of this group, which is Toad the Wet Sprocket, who wrote the lyrics. And he told us that they bashed out a lyric for a demo in about 5 minutes. Okay, a few weeks earlier, he had taken a vacation with his wife to Orcas Island in Washington State, and so he had images of cleansing water in his cortex. Very interesting image that they were putting here, and it says, I wrote down literally the first thing that came across my mind. The lyric in the chorus, I have no idea what it means, unfortunately. Then I tried rewriting it, and nothing ever really worked. So I tried to make the chorus mean something and eventually said, well, it sounds like I know what I'm talking about, and they left it as it was. Now, guys, I don't need to tell you, when you have the Holy Spirit guiding you and leading you, that's how things come to you so quickly. Especially when you're in your studies, one thing leads to another, to another, to another. And there's no way that you can make it sound any better or fix it in any way. It is how it comes out. And so when I was doing the research on this song, I was like, wow, that's pretty interesting. But I'm going to tell you, the two things that stuck out to me was flesh becomes water and wood becomes bone. So when I saw that language, wood becomes bone, that really stuck out to me. And what came to mind was transforming from one thing to another. And I don't know why, but my mind went to the Ark of the Covenant. Now, when I went through and... Okay, guys, so I'm just sharing what I had already shared in one of those last videos. Flesh becomes water. We've already talked about what that water could represent. And wood becomes bone. And what is interesting is my mind went to the ark. Okay, my mind went to the ark. Now, guys, this is just so amazing. Let's, I did pull up to see what ark was, A-R-C. And just to show you the definition of it, it's a curve, a bend, a bow, a crescent, a semicircle, a curvature, and it just goes on. It's talking about arc. So it says, denoting the path of a celestial object, especially the sun, from horizon to horizon, Latin meaning to bow, to curve. So I thought that was interesting because now recall, A-R-C, my mind went to here just recently, A-R-C is equal to A-R-K. So I was being led to ark the other day. I'm being led to ark again, but here in a different manner, it is coming back to the same, which I thought was interesting. So the information that the lead singer of that particular group, the group name being Toad the Wet Sprocket, he said something about the cleansing, that he saw the vision in his mind about cleansing, right? And he said something about the cortex. So I pulled up what cortex is, and I just want to show you what it says here. It says the outer layer of tissue immediately below the epidermis. It is the outer layer. This is talking about the cerebral cortex, but we're not going into that particular depth of it. But it says here, it says skin, sheath, covering, outer layer. Origin just means bark, like the bark of a tree, the outside. So the cortex is the covering, the outer layer. So guys, when I was coming back and I was talking about this as being our covering, I truly believe that that's what's I believe this is what it is. I believe this is what it is, guys. Very interesting information. Okay, so when I think of a circle, among other things, okay, there is something else that kind of pops out and stays kind of prevalent in my mind. I don't know if this is what is being included in this type of a circle or not, but I'm going to throw it in here just because it came to mind, okay? It's about time. That time is not linear, it's circular. A clock is not a timeline, but a circle, for the simple reason that time does not begin or stop. It just continues without stopping. It doesn't really specifically show an ending or a new beginning. It just continues on. Now, guys, recall that the Lord has told us that we are in a new phase, a new season, a new level, so to speak, per se. this is where we are. He told us that time ended on that particular Monday. Do you guys remember when he said that to us? So we know that he has marked something specifically, but time has continued on. I mean, it has continued to flow, right? So it doesn't necessarily just stop all of a sudden because it's over. No, it continues now and starts into something else. And so it's an ever-flowing thing that is going. So in the same fashion, days and years are also circular. But most modern Western minds view time as linear, like a big long timeline with a definite beginning and a definite end. But not getting off base of what I shared today, it's a circle. Okay, so I'm providing a link for you here that talks about time. It talks about being a circle and what have you. But when I was doing my studies, I came across something that I would like to share. This is very interesting what this guy said. This is time is a flat circle. Okay, it's this guy right here. It's a very short little video. I don't know, what, about a minute here. It's from True Detective Videos via YouTube. Now I need to say too, I don't own this video. I'm sharing it in a non-profit scenario. I have to say this for YouTube. In a non-profit scenario, just to encourage and to edify. It's for our studies, and that is all it's being used for. So the caption below provided was what, in the green, was what I saw underneath this video. So we'll go ahead and take a look at that as soon as I can play the video. Let me pull it up. Okay, guys, so here it is. Now, please pardon the expletive that's in here. It's just one word, but I need for you to hear the rest of the things that he's saying here. It's pretty interesting. Hang on.
Why should I live in history, huh? I don't want to know anything anymore. This is a world where nothing is solved. Someone once told me time is a flat circle. Everything we've ever done or will do, we're going to do over and over and over again. And that little boy and that little girl, they're going to be in that room again. And again. And again. Forever.
Oh, could manage to get shot.
Next time.
Thanks for not doubting. Never did.
Okay, guys, so just a short clip of what that was, and this is what he said if you couldn't hear it. He said, why should I live in history? I changed that word. It says, I don't even want to know anything anymore. This is a world where nothing is solved. Someone once told me that time is a flat circle. Everything we've ever done or will do, we're going to do over and over and over again. And that little boy and that little girl, they're going to be in that room again and again and again forever. Now, guys, when the Lord first opened my ear and he first started teaching me one-on-one, one of the very first things that he ever taught me was perspective. There's more than one way to look at something. Okay? It's like the glass being half full. Is it half full or is it half empty? Right? Are you going to view it through the positive? Or are you going to view it through the negative? Are you going to view it through the darkness? Or are you going to view it through the light? He taught me a lot about perspective. There is words that are out there that mean more than one thing. It's the same word. It's the same spelling of the word, but it has multiple meanings. This is the same thing. Okay? So what is really interesting here is when I found this in my study, it was past the day that the Lord had awoke me in the night on November the 7th. He was giving me an understanding. Now, guys, I need to turn this around because I want to talk to you about where I felt like this was coming from. So let me turn this around. Okay. So, guys, when I woke up in the middle of the night and I was having this understanding of what I'm getting ready to share with you, I wasn't hearing anything. I wasn't being told something in my ear. I wasn't being given a message. I awoke. I don't recall a dream. I don't recall being somewhere. I wasn't in the spirit. I don't remember anything. What it was it was an understanding coming up from right here. Okay? When I awoke at that night in bed and I was just sitting there or laying there, I recognized, oh my goodness, I'm being given an understanding of something. And guys, I'm telling you, it was coming up from here. Okay? To here. It was coming up from here to here. Okay? And so that's the only way that I can explain it to you. I was being given an understanding of something. So what I'm getting ready to tell you is not his words. I'm not going to identify them in red in any way, shape, or form. They are my words, the best that I can put them out there for you to give you the understanding of what I'm being told, the understanding that I'm being given. Okay, so let me turn this back around and we're going to read it over. Okay, so here it is. So I wish to share something that I had been given when I awoke in the night. It was November the 7th, and when I awoke in the night, I understood that I was being given an understanding of something. I heard no voice. I did not recall if I had been in a dream or not, but when I woke from my being, okay, I was understanding something I knew I should write down. Mind you, these are my words trying to wrap my head around what I was being shown by my spirit. Okay? It is in regards to time. It's in regards to a circle as well. So the Lord is pointing us to arc, circle. He's pointing us to covering and compass, the waters. There's something significant about it. Okay? So November 7th, understanding. Everything, this is what I'm understanding. Everything is the circle of life. The end is the beginning. Using the same pattern as before, but differently. Building upon it. Everything is evolving. Instead of returning to the very beginning, like back where Adam and Eve were in their time in the garden, we are starting a new beginning using the same pattern, but different. We are building off what we know, who we are, and what we have become. Okay, guys, we know all about the patterns. We know if it happened before, it's going to happen again. In some of our past studies, we know there is nothing new under the sun. We understand that, right? So later on that night, I awoke and I continued writing down here, okay? Even the power, the glory, and the authority that Adam and Eve had to begin with when they were in the garden. Remember, they had the authority over certain things before the fall. Remember that? What the power, the glory, and the authority that they had will be what we will begin with as well. Okay? It will be what we begin with as well. We have already been told we're in a new level, a new phase, a new season per se, whatever the specific word is. I can't recall what he said. And then we have been told that time has ended. Okay. So coming back to this and what he said and what was being put out there and his perspective of what is going on here versus what the Lord has already is telling us here and God's perspective about this. This was being given to me before I saw that snippet, before I saw that video. I just saw that video yesterday. So I'm finding this to be very, very interesting. The Lord has confirmed to me so many times now that it's circle, water, ark, manatee, and all of this. This is where he's pointing to. Even back to that song about walking on the ocean. Guys, I'm telling you, this is getting ready to happen. Okay? I need to express to you this is getting ready to happen. Okay. So November 7th, everything is the circle of life. The end is the beginning. Using the same pattern as before, but differently, building upon it. Okay? We are building off what we know, who we are, and what we have become. Amazing stuff, guys. Amazing stuff, what's being given to us now. So the timing, okay? Are we being shown the timing? In that dream, remember? I said in that dream I was going to Hawaii the following week. Do you guys remember that? The date of that dream was December the 16th, and that would lead us to the 23rd. And the number 23 it's been significant for a lot of people. And if I count from the date I was given the remembrance of it on the 18th, that lands us right on Christmas. That's 2 days. 2 days, right? What came to mind is on the third day. And he rose on the third day. That's what came to mind. So I'm just putting that out there for your discernment. And what about Abraham's bosom? Not specifically in the spiritual sense, but in the physical. The physical place. The place that's in the Bible that's called the Abraham's bosom or the bosom of Abraham. I'm not sure exactly how it's written. You know, I think we may have to pick up that side of the bosom part in another study. But guys, that's going to link right into that document. The dream with my mother. Where was I for 3 days? What was going on? I have a lot of information that I need to provide to you for that. I have a lot of information to provide for that. So in regards to timing, when I returned home from travel this past weekend, and I'd like to say hello to my new friends that I met while I was traveling, I went into my bedroom and I just turned on the television. I was getting ready to unpack some of my stuff, and guys, listen, I don't normally watch a lot of television, and I specifically really don't even watch television preachers anymore. But this day I did cut it on. Okay, it was Sunday. It was Sunday afternoon. There was a lot going on in my house. I just kind of came into my bedroom for some quiet. I started to unpack, and as I had flipped on the television, I heard something like within seconds of me cutting on the television that caught my ear. And I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Jack Van Impe was on. And what he said that I was taking note of. So I sent a clip of this to a friend of mine, and she stated that Jack Van Impe had not been on television for a while. I didn't even know that because I haven't been watching television, and so it seems to me he has returned. Guys, I'm telling you, this was a divinely orchestrated thing that happened. It had to be in order for me to catch what he said. I literally we have a DVR on our, something hooked up on our, whatever the cable box is or something like that. I was not recording this show at all, but I was able to stop it and record it back. Guys, fascinating technology we have these days. I'm loving it. But I was actually able to record it back, grab my phone, and record exactly what caught my attention because it's lining up with some of the stuff that we've been talking about. So let me pull that up for you. Okay, guys, so I hope this is big enough. You may have to cut your speakers up. I'm going to cut mine up. I pray I remember to cut it back down, or I'm going to be annoying y'all after this is done. This is only like 20 seconds long. It's not very long because this is what I heard as soon as I was unpacking, guys. You ready? Let me see. Does this come up any at all? No, that's already. Okay, so here we go.
When the Holy Spirit came to me August the 13th and said, "You've been called to be God's final prophet to warn the world that Jesus is about to return, and I'm going to do it." The week after Christmas, I know the time.
Okay, guys. Let me cut my speakers down right quick. Did you notice the two dates that he had in here? The first date was August the 13th. Guys, I knew, first off, that caught my attention because, guys, recall that is the only date that the Lord has ever given me. Okay? And it's in regards to that experience, prayer, and vision that the Lord gave me in regards to my real mother. When I awoke from a vision or a dream that morning, I saw that in that dream, I saw that document, that whole study that I wrote up in regards to that whole experience, all the backup scriptures, all the messages that the Lord had given me that tied into it, that related to it somehow. And on that document, I saw the date of August 13th. And so when I awoke that morning, I said to the Lord, okay, I said, Lord, are you telling me the dead in Christ are about ready to rise? Okay, that's what I asked him. And that is the date that is on there. Now, I stand by that date. I don't know what it signifies. I don't know how time is going to roll around, evolve. Is everything going to be mixed up or what? I don't know what's going to be happening with time, but that date is significant. Okay, and so for him to mention it also, out of all the dates that he could have provided, that's the one he provided. I was extremely ecstatic to hear that, number one. And then number two, the other date he said was the week after Christmas. Okay, so here he is also pointing to the same time frame that I am being shown as well. Okay, so let me just say this, okay? Are you saying the rapture is going to occur the week after Christmas? I'm not saying what's going to occur the week after Christmas, but something's going to occur around that time frame. My dream was telling me somewhere around just before and right at Christmas, and he's saying the week after Christmas. So we have a difference of about 7 days, guys. Does that mean nothing's going to happen until December? No, I'm not saying that at all, because we know about the 3 days that the Lord Jesus Christ, he was died and he was buried and he raised on the 3rd day. Guys, hear me when I'm telling you now. Listen to the words that I'm saying and what I have already provided for you, okay? He was dead and buried he rose on the 3rd day. He walked this earth for 40 days before he ascended into heaven. So we have been told in our study with T.B. Shore's Seek and Ye Shall Find YouTube channel. I have bragged on her Days of Darkness study. I have it in a playlist. I have brought this before you many, many times in regards to the 3 different pathways, how those folks are going to be dealing with the 3 days of darkness. Okay, because each grouping of people are going to be dealing with something different. The bride is going to be walking the same path as Jesus, okay? And Jesus went below. He went down into the bosom of Abraham, or Abraham's bosom. He went down below and took the keys of hell with him, okay? Others resurrected with him when he resurrected. They walked this earth too. The dead in Christ rose. Now, it happened before. It's going to happen again. It's coming again, guys. Okay? So, is the bride going to go down for 3 days and release people out of prison down there? Guys, I'm telling you, that's what that document was all about. Okay? Will we walk this earth for 40 days or more to help in the harvest? You know, guys, that's our understanding. The second group is the backslidden people. They will walk their journey similar to Jonah. Okay? Jonah was 3 days in the belly of the whale. Did they die? Did he die? I don't know. But he finally succumbed and said and put his hands up in full surrender to the Lord, right? In full surrender to the Lord, said, God, your will be done. I'll do it. I'll do what you're asking me to do. Did he not? Okay. And then the walk of the lost, right? That is Saul / Paul. He was blind. He didn't eat, he didn't drink, nothing. He was searching his soul for 3 days before he was healed. Is that right? You know, guys, I just watched a movie that I recorded. I just watched it last night about Paul. It was on, I don't know what channel it was on, but I recorded it. And I just watched it last night. Guys, I'm telling you. Guys, I'm telling you. When I watched that movie, tears at the end. It just, I can say nothing more except for the fact that I was distraught. They beheaded Paul. I saw Luke. I saw what they were dealing with, and I know it was a movie. But I questioned the Lord. Why? Why did the apostles have to go through what they went through? Why did they have to see what they saw? What Nero did? Lighting Christians, putting them up on poles and lighting them as torches throughout the city. Throwing them into the bulls and wild animal rings while other people watched on. Why? The beheadings. Why did it have to come to that? It's coming to that again. But why? You know, sometimes I have to sit back and think, why are you allowing evil a set time? I don't know the answers to these things. I don't. But I saw the message of Paul, as well as the others, the other apostles. It was all about love. Love. That was the weapon. To be as wise as serpents and gentle as doves. To be the sheep going to the slaughter. If you guys get an opportunity to watch that movie, you know, I'm not saying everything in it is biblically accurate, but the overall movie was very moving. It was very moving. If you have a chance to watch it, please do so. Let's go ahead and turn this around. Continue with the rest of it. Okay, guys, so we spoke of those 2 dates. I thought that was really interesting. August 13th, of course, the only date that was ever given to me. He said the week after Christmas. Now, that's a difference of approximately 7 days. Now, I know that Aaron from the Nest, okay, used to be Sparrow's barn. She was shown in a dream sometime back, and I can't recall which one it is because she has so many, that she was gathered 7 days prior to the others coming. And I don't know if you guys remember that, but if you do and you know which dream that is, please provide a link in one of your comments. I'm sure others would like to read that dream. So I know that even regarding Noah's Ark, right? There was a 7-day warning to get into the ark. You guys remember that? And so it appears that there may be some significance regarding this timing somewhere. Okay, there is something significant to what I said in that dream and where we were going. Okay. So while there are many different things that we can look at regarding this, one in particular came to my attention recently that I would like to share. Interesting, it is about Esther, because this is one thing that I've been speaking to the Lord about. He shared something with me in a message in regards to smell. I went and I was trying to find that Natan video. Someone sent me a link the very day I was coming home to search for that video, and the link in my phone was that very video. So guys, I know I'm on the pathway. I know that the things that he is trying to show me, and we're going to have to get into that part a little bit later also, because I have some other things that I need to share with you as well. But this particular thing I wanted to share because when I was looking for some of the information regarding that manatee dream, this was also provided to me, and this was a study that I did. Let's see what the date is. March 1st, 2018, regarding Esther. And this is something that the Lord opened up to me and showed me that day. Okay? So Esther becomes queen. So after these things, when the wrath of King Ahasuerus subsided, and I'm just not going to say his name because I'm terrible at pronouncing names, guys. I'll just say King okay? He remembered Vashti, okay? What she had done and what had been decreed against her. Then the king's servants who attended him said, "Let beautiful young virgins be sought for the king." Okay. Let beautiful young virgins be sought for the king, and let the king appoint officers in all the provinces of his kingdom, that they may gather all the beautiful young virgins to Shushan, the citadel, into the women's quarters under the custody of Haggai, the king's eunuch, custodian of the women, and let beauty preparations be given to them. Then let the young woman who pleases the king be queen instead of Vashti. Okay. So blue letter Bible for Shushan is Hebrew 7800, and what it means is lily. Okay? Lily. Now, what should come to mind immediately is Song of Solomon, because he speaks of the lilies in Song of Solomon. But interesting here that it also says that it's a winter residence of the Persian kings. Another hint, winter residence. Okay, so verses 8 and 9. So it was when the king's command and decree was heard, and when many young women were gathered at Shushan, the citadel, under the custody of Haggai, that Esther also was taken to the king's palace, into the care of Haggai, the custodian of the women. Now the young women pleased him, and she obtained his favor. So he readily gave beauty preparations to her, besides her allowance. So he gave her more, right? He gave her more than the others, is what it is saying here. The 7 choice maidservants were provided for her from the king's palace, and he moved her and her maidservants to the best palace in the house of the women. Now that's favor, guys. I'm going to tell you, that is favor. Now, interesting that 7 went with her. Recall, please, about the 7 spirits of God we talked about that would be helping prepare us. You guys remember that? We were talking about that. The Lord let us do that not long ago, right? We're going to be getting into that in another video, but I just wanted to put that out to you right there. Now, when the turn came for Esther, the daughter of Abihail, the uncle of Mordecai, who had taken her as his daughter to go into the king, when it was her time to go into the king, she requested nothing but what Haggai, the king's eunuch, the custodian of the women, advised. So she didn't want to go in with anything more that she should be going in with. She just wanted to go in with what he was instructing her to do, okay? This is the custodian of the women, and he was their advisor, right? And Esther obtained favor in sight of all who saw her. So Esther was taken to the king into his royal palace in the 10th month, which is the month of Tebeth, in the 7th year of his reign. The king loved Esther more than all the other women, and she obtained grace and favor in his sight more than all the virgins. So he set the royal crown upon her head and made her queen instead of Vashti. And the king made a great feast, the feast of Esther, for all his officials and servants. And he proclaimed a holiday in the provinces and gave gifts according to the generosity of the king. Okay, so before we move forward, you guys remember when I had that dream and that whole thing about my mother? I was in the house of Anna. Do you guys remember that? I was in the house of Anna, and Anna means favor and grace. So guys, I'm telling you, there is something significant to what the Lord has been trying to show us all along, okay? But now look at this. in the Bible. It says Mordecai discovers a plot. Look at verse 19. When virgins were gathered together, when? A second time, Mordecai sat within the king's gate. Now Esther had not revealed her family and her people, just as Mordecai had charged her. For Esther obeyed the command of Mordecai as she was brought up by him. Okay, so guys, these are the virgins here. Okay, these are the virgins that were being called. Okay, it says virgins. Okay, and now when the virgins are gathered together a second time. So when we're talking about the two different dates, the two different times, one before, one after 7 days, that's very interesting. That's very, very interesting. So she was taken into his royal palace in the 7th year of his reign. And then when the virgins were gathered together a second time. Guys, I need for you to seek the Lord on this. I need for you to seek the Lord on this. So it was at this time in March 2018 that I was led to Esther. Okay, but not only Esther, but the purification of her. The year of cleansing and preparation by the eunuchs. And I thought, I had a thought this morning that I needed to look it up. When I was being shown and told in messages by the Lord and being led to Esther, I had a thought that came. Where were the virgins when they were being prepared? I mean, where were they? Were they in the king's house, the king's property? It says here that they were, okay? So I had asked the question because that arena dream, you guys go look back at the dream for this year. I think the title of it is 2/21/18, something about a dream, an arena dream or whatever. Remember that meeting room and door was shut. Guys, that's the virgins story. That's the 5 wise and 5 foolish virgins story. Do you guys remember that? Those who were ready entered in, and what? The door was shut. There was a delay. How long was that delay? What was going on? They slumbered or slept until when? Until midnight, remember? Guys, it was at that time I was speaking to Lou and some other people, and what was being put in front of me was a 9-day delay. A 9-day delay. So I don't know. I don't know. Is it actually the 7-day delay? Is it the warning? Is there a different delay of what's coming on? Guys, I don't know. I don't know. I have much more to show you and talk to you about, but I'm not going to put it in this video today. Guys, there's so much. There's so much that is being shown to us right now. And we're right in the timing of it. And it's upcoming. So if you go back and you take a look at certain things, you go back and you look at 40 days from the week after Christmas is December 26th to January 1st. That brings you to New Year's. And the time period of December 26th to January 1 is Kwanzaa. We got to look at that because I can't let you go without looking at that. That is some fantastic, interesting information too. Let me pull that up for you. So looking at Kwanzaa, okay, it is 26th December through January 1. That is the week after Christmas, right? And what does Kwanzaa mean? It means first fruits. That's what it means. That's what they're celebrating, which I thought was really interesting. Now, they do a lighting of candles and different things, but I want to just show you this. So what they're celebrating their first fruit celebrations, okay? It's a time of ingathering of the people to affirm the bonds between them. A time of special reverence for the Creator and creation and thanks and respect for the blessings, bountifulness, and beauty of creation. A time for commemoration of the past in pursuit of its lessons. A time for recommitment to our highest cultural ideals and always trying to bring out the best. And a time for celebration of the good. Notice here, capital G, guys, the good. The good of the family, community, culture. In a word, the good of the divine. Guys, Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa. So if we're looking back and forth and we're trying to figure out timing and when stuff is going to start, and we know about the 3 days, and we know about the 40 days after, and we know that we're going to be following the pathway of the Lord Jesus Christ, and how that's all going to happen, I've got an in-depth study for Esther that I want to talk to you all about. I've got another study in regards linking to the bosom of Abraham and the walking in the 3 days of darkness and how that's all going to be what I've been given in regards to that. I mean, there's just all different kinds of things. Guys, it's all starting to link together. It's all starting to link together. So I wanted to bring this to you. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this all into one video or if I need to break it down into two. But guys, it's going to be very, very important. Please seek the Lord on what I'm providing for you. Please seek the Lord on what I'm providing for you. When will this start, guys? I don't know. But I know that it's soon, and I know that we're in the season. Okay? We're in the season. So guys, thank you for praying for me. I know that I have been missing in action online in regards to videos, in regards to a lot of different things. I have just really been under the weather. I have not had my voice back until yesterday, actually. And then today I'm still struggling with the whatever it is. So guys, stay under his wing. Please know it is that important at this time. Stay near him, stay in prayer, stay under his wing. And until we are able to speak again, God bless you all.